So I'm gonna talk a little bit about some of the invasions I've had a couple of months ago. I've just not gotten around to put any of them out because of personal reasons and economical reasons and all that. You know, the excuses. This is my soul level 31 plus 3 duelist build. I call him duelist Duckie because Duckie is what I call myself everywhere. And duelist because I sort of tried to make him a dual cosplay sort of looking guy. I put on the mirror set and the steel mask. I kind of just went for the fashionable, honorable duelist, but he can do other things. That's why I also gave him a chaos dagger. That I break that out if I really feel the need to, and usually I forget. He also rocks the hornet ring because usually I end up spanking with this guy, and she needs all the edge she can have when you're fighting multiple people who probably are also as freaked out as this guy is. I have manually taken this guy through the game. I don't cheat, and I haven't sort of begged for anything with this guy. I took him through the game at soul level 30, and then I put in an extra level after that because I needed to be able to use the mace, spike mace. Not the spike mace. I mean the Morning Star, which I don't have in this invasion. Here I'm using the raw Restorer straight sword, which is just the straight sword I had to hand when I started. I'm trying to do something about this gang squad. I can see the guy with the training wheel. That's the biggest threat now, and he dies. So now there's no threats. He also leaves 3,600 souls, which tells me he's somewhere around the 100 soul level mark. But don't take my word for it. I'm just going to harass them with some arrows first to see how they react. You can see that arrows does very little damage, but they notice it. They're staggered and they know that I'm shooting at them. But they can't see me because I have the obscuring ring on. Another, in my mind, must for an invasion, especially in this area. So they're just going to run around for a little bit, not knowing what to do. I'm going to bank on them trying to go into the room with the spider. And they did. Well, of course they did. I've seen this footage before, but yeah, they did because that's the stupidest thing you could do, and that tells me a lot about the host. I'm just going to chase them in here, see if I can do some damage. Now, I do some mistakes in this invasion. The first one is I reveal myself too quickly. I wasn't waiting for them to engage the spider. It looked like they were engaging the spider, but they were actually just dodging it, and the guy with the sword is super cautious, especially now. And here I first think he's really clever because he answers my first R1 with a instant poise L2 attack, which is smart, but not as smart as doing it out of neutral like this, because at this distance you shouldn't try to punish an Estus choke, even if your weapon will take you all the way there, because I can parry it. Now the host is left alone. He's very likely to just not fight at all. He just panic rolls, and I think that's why I lost. I wasn't good enough at punishing this guy for panic rolling. Should have broken out some roll catching machine weapon I have, but I don't have any. So I'm just gonna try and chase him. Now he runs out, so I'm fairly confident he's trying to make his way to somewhere where there's a summon sign. So I'm gonna have to try and kill him as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, either due to latency or due to his using the Calphus cheat ring, I really can't do much about his panic rolling. And furthermore, I don't know if this is just me, but it doesn't look like he either knows how to lock onto me or locks onto me. Or it could be that he does this consciously, which is curious because nothing of his playstyle suggests to me that this guy is an experienced PvPer. But he did unlock swings even before I tried to parry him. Almost had him there. I should have gone for the backstab, but I was too eager to catch him, so I didn't notice he was breaking Alice Estes. I was too close actually. That's something. And I run back into the room with the spider, which is weird. And also I can't catch him for shit, no matter how I delay or time my strikes or whatever. He runs in again. I try to block the exit with Dr. Smith. He summons another phantom. There too. And I should have gone in and punished him immediately for that, because with the other phantom in the world, this is going to be much harder. Especially when the phantom is probably going to be over leveled, probably have all the S's in the world, and also probably going to help him take out this fast little spider. Should have waited a little bit, gone for the backstab instead. Instead I just went for the running attack, but he had hyper armor on his. See? There again, I at least saved the spider. Save the spider, everybody. That's just yo. That should have been a parry, but I don't know what happened to my frames there. Also, the host will now only attack if I'm in stun lock. And there he realized how to lock onto me. I noticed that just now. That's quite curious. Yeah. So I'm being taken apart here by the Valahart guy, who's reasonably good. I think the weapon does flatter whoever is wielding it. I make the classic mistake of thinking that the Dark Souls has any kind of lock-on range though, where the camera just snaps around and I'm kept short, but I managed to parry my way out. The thrall there just saved the host from being parried by me, because I could see that he was trying to wind up his third one. I was just coming out of the iframes. Here he goes with the charge attack. I can see the charge attack from a mile away, so I'm just going to go for the backstab again. It's the easiest thing in the world to counter a running attack is just run slightly to the side and towards them while locked on, and your character will, while sprinting, just snap around and be able to catch their back very easily. The unfortunate thing is I don't have a shield break on the rapier. The other mistake I did was going for a lot of parries, even though it looked like he knew how to delay his attacks. I'm being taken apart really well, and I haven't been trading well with the phantoms. The host, I don't even know how many Estus the host has, probably something like 8 or 9, I don't know. He at least had a lot of armor and a lot of health for this level, so he sort of perhaps had some high level rings. At this point you should have around 6 or 7 Estus, I think. Could have gone through the other parts of the game, I couldn't be sure. He could have gotten Estus from the enemies, you never know. But he had no problem out Estusing me, and neither had this phantom. He was really good. I'd like to fight him one-on-one once and just see what either of us could do to adapt to their playstyles. Another mistake that I do here is I just let them go. I wasn't pushing them. I was assuming that they were trying to get through the level reasonably enough, but they're just gonna run back to the bonfire and hang around there, which is fine. It's their game, they can do as they please. That's how you want to have fun, etc. But, you know, it's not my kind of fun. And now I can't, as an invader, do very much. I have no Estus, I have very little tools, I have a very limited ability to cause damage to them, and they're never ever gonna split up, surely. So now I'm just gonna try and bait one of them out, because the host is obviously not gonna come. I see that he's out of blue, so I'm not really afraid of his weapon art. There you are, the host comes. As soon as he sees me clipping for damage, that's just his signal. He just comes running like a little bitch. fair enough. Now they're both after me, so I'm gonna go and get some backup because 2v1 is unfair. Especially when one of them has 30% more health than you and twice as much Estus. Don't care if it's just +2 Estus, it's still twice as much. And at this level, +2 or +10 doesn't really matter because there's not much life to regen, really. I'm just gonna make him pay for what they did. I'm gonna harass them for as long as I can. But I'm on my last health bar. I don't have any illusions as to where this is going. I know that I'm gonna either die or die violently. But I'm gonna have to at least try to make some fucking difference and try to make this a challenge for the host, or else I'm not doing my job. The host seems to be challenged by very simple tasks though, so this shouldn't be too hard. I'm gonna poke at them with the bow. The bow does no damage, but an inexperienced player would just see damage and think, no way. So he, and also I'm guessing he's probably in contact with any of these phantoms because they seem to be very close to each other at any time. And here's the joy of the toxic mist. I've tested the range on this. It's pretty crazy. The phantom thought I couldn't see him. I could see him very easily. I'm quite surprised he was caught by that. But there you see the range. I could stand by like the door to the other elevator, and I could hit someone behind the door of the cleansing chapel. Now he's going to be clipped for a whole lot of damage, but it's not going to make much difference because he has 7 plus 10 Estuses, and my toxic mist can do perhaps 1500 damage, so that's 2 or 3 of his Estuses. Yeah, I'm gonna mock him, see if I can get him to come out here, because with the toxic pressure, he's gonna have a hard time trying to defeat me 1v1. Catch him, outspace him, catch him again, and he's almost dead already. That's 4 hits and he's almost dead. That's the power of toxic mist. There I see he goes for the rolling R1, so I tried to bait him in with Barket Bomb Bait. He baits me in by pretending to fall for a Barket Bomb Bait, which is rather clever. I like this guy already. But I'm gonna fight him like a fucking animal. I don't want to leave him with the impression that I didn't do my job, at least. But I fail in my job, and they get to keep on going. Well, the Phantom, at least, he fought for his place in the world. The host really needs to get down. I wanted to re-invade, but I invaded someone else instead. What are you gonna do? Here's my co-invader. He's a cool dude. He's bald. I'm kind of worried about that. Or it just looks like he's bald, you know. He's not a heavy dude, and he's got a great sword, which could be very good and it could be very bad. Hopefully this guy that I'm invading doesn't know what he's doing. But since there's another invader in the world, that means it must be either 3 or 4 people in this world. Probably 4. This has the stench of a dried finger thing. And also I saw a lot of health bars pop up. Also I saw a lot of health bars pop up earlier. That surely is going to be a problem. I also noticed that the red hasn't been following me this way. That's a worry. I'm going to have to play very cautiously here. The Phantom has been activated but has gone to sleep again, so they have been past this area. All the enemies are dead, so I'm not even wondering where they are. They're probably in the room with the first Cathedral Knights. So I'm going to take the first on the left here, because I don't want to show my back to them. If they were here, as you can see they are, and I had gone just right down, they would be at my back and also have a drop on me should I appear in the room. And you can see there's 4 people here. One of them can heal, that's a worry. There's a Ringed Knight Greatsword guy, there's the Exile Curved Greatsword guy, there's the Cestus guy, which is rather surprising. He's doing some sort of cosplay thing, it looks like. And then there's the host, who is sort of a magic melee hybrid with a bandit knife. So I'm gonna just make my way out of this room. I don't want to fight him in a room with just 1 enemy backup, really. And 4 people, you can't fight them alone, no matter what you do. All the NPCs in the world is just aren't gonna be enough if you get caught in between them. So you want space, and you want to be in front of them, relative to where you think they're trying to go. You want to be in the way. You want to be a blockage. You want to position yourself so that they have to make a conscious decision to try to get past you, because not everyone is going to make that conscious decision. Least of all will the host. The host will probably just send his phantoms to try and deal with you. There they are, all of 4 people gathered together. This is how Dark Souls is meant to be played, with all your friends and buddies from your local football team. I'm still waiting for the red, so I'm just biding my time, really, trying to see if I can bleed them for some damage, see the red, so the red can find us. I usually use my bow for that, because the bow does very little damage, but it does damage and it's annoying. That's the Toxic Mist. I try to secure myself by just throwing it around some corners as it passes through walls and stuff. This guy has absolutely no health. I can take him. I know I can take him easily. I just need space. I can take him. He has no health. I took him down to like 50% health with just 2 R1s with a rapier, which is not even that strong. In my last invasion, it did like 60 damage in an R1 on the host. And this guy takes 112, and that's not, and that's a significant amount of his health. I'm breaking some furniture, trying to clip some people with the arrows, hoping that the health I took from the bald guy was flashing up was enough. There, surely enough, the red has found us, but he is not wearing the obscuring ring, which is really rather risky. The squad has disappeared, and they have reappeared under us. I flashed my obscuring ring to let him know I'm down here. He should come down here and find me. They follow us down. That's not smart of them. I'm almost taken down because we let them get too close. You should never let a squad who is bunched up like that get too close, because they can just swing away and not learn a thing. Very clever of the guy with the Gale's crossbow. The lightning arrow in this area does a lot of damage, and it's really rather dangerous. I'm just hanging back to see what target I can prey upon, something that is sort of vulnerable. Here I get a little bit too much aggro and I almost die, but luckily they aren't focused enough to chase me down. And they're caught by the NPC. That's really good. Sir Shankton, which is his name, is really taken apart here, and he's the weak link in this gank, and he needs to go very quickly. So I grab the booty of the yellow just to get some aggro, and then I parry the shit out of Sir Shankton because he knows nothing of PvP. You can't learn anything when you've got all your friends around you. You have to do some soloing in order to learn anything from PvP. You have to observe, not just spank away your fists. So we're doing pretty reasonable damage to this squad. He breaks out the charge weapon up, which is rather handy actually, because he has probably observed, as I have, that no people in this squad have any parry to his side. That's something you should learn. Which shield can and cannot parry, which tools can and cannot parry. and how it looks when someone is just not going to go for parries versus how it looks when they are. So we can just safely break out the charge weapon art. It has great hyper armor, it has great range, and it does a lot of damage. And I also positioned myself on the opposite side to where he is, so that we can flank them, as it's called. This way they can't actually keep an eye on both of us. This relies on my ability to be active and take the aggro when I see that I'm losing it, as well as it relies on his ability to stay alive. And he's doing amazing for this sort of invasions. Some of the best invaders are low level, but even so I've met a lot of bad invaders, and that's the most frustrating thing surely. When you're getting an invader who's just feeding the party with more Estus. So I'm gonna try and stay away from his range when he swings away, because that's I don't want to be that guy. I'm gonna try to focus on the opposite guy, or try to take aggro from the guy who is fighting him, because if I see a good chance. So I'm gonna, we've now whittled them down to 2 people. I catch his sword with my shield because I wouldn't have minded if he continued swinging. He might have hit something. I didn't want to be the guy who stopped the swing. I see that Sir Dick something is taking some pressure, so I'm gonna take some pressure off him again. I never saw what the red was called, so I'm just gonna call him. Oaks is probably trying to resummon, so I'm gonna have to end it very quickly. The straight sword is great for catching people who are just rolling around you. The red has broken out a much quicker great sword. Hollow Slayer, if I should be correct. There's the L2R2. That's a good chase down if you're trying to catch someone that's just rolling, because its active hitbox is longer than a roll, so it should catch people if it's within range. The other phantom, the other summoned phantom has died, and now poor Sanguine is alone with 2 reds, and this is probably where he shouldn't have used the finger. He's now dead, all his progress is forfeit, and we get the Ember. Thank you very much.